What's up, guys, and welcome back to the doctor's office. I am Dr. K. Ray Knight, here to give you a proper diagnosis and prognosis and everything comics and comic book characters. So, today we are talking about Wolverine Revenge. Now, this is going to be a toughie. I want to like it, but this first issue was interesting. So, at the beginning of this, we have this thing of text. We're talking about asteroid M hitting Earth, Magneto taking his last breath and creating the biggest EMP on the planet ever, and it knocks out most of the world and billions of lives are at stake. Now, Wolverine is over in Savage Land. He is like riding on a triceratops around the people who are living in the Savage Land, and they get attacked by, it looks like a raptor, but it's actually much bigger. And he kills it, or he's injuring it. Nick Fury shows up and kills it and is like, hey, sorry to interrupt your vacation. We don't know what that is. We need you. Humanity needs you. Let's go. So this little team that gets put together, it is Bucky, Captain America, and Wolverine. On top of those three, there are some SHIELD agents who are supposed to go on this excursion along with Dum Dum Dugan. So there's a facility that has like power, and essentially taking this facility, Nick Fury even calls this a heist, taking this facility would power basically the like whole hemisphere essentially, and would help the lives of everyone, because at this point there is nothing. There is no power, there are no phones, no computers, no nothing. So this facility will help. However, it is in the possession of the Brotherhood of Mutants, which is now being run by Mastermind. And so they are supposed to kind of just go see if they can take it and what they can. While they are getting everything ready and getting split up into their teams, Mastermind has taken control over one of them and has destroyed one of the ships. Is just in the process of destroying one of the other ships, and they all land kind of close to this facility. Now, the ones that have landed close to this facility are Bucky, Wolverine, Captain America, and I think like 3 to 5 SHIELD agents. So they're all supposed to split up, head like north face of the mountain, and just like go over to the facility. While that is happening, Sabretooth, Deadpool, and Omega Red have killed the SHIELD members. And then they take to attacking Bucky. Sabretooth attacks Bucky, Omega Red gets Captain America, and then all three of them, because Wolverine can smell the blood on them, approach Wolverine. And he gets taken in, and they're all being like chained up. All of them have their shirts ripped open at the chest, and they all have like stitches in their chest. Reason being, there is a bomb that was placed in their chest. Now, Wolverine is not surprised seeing any of them together. Not at all. What he is a bit surprised by is seeing Colossus. As was I, because what the fuck? So, at that point, Colossus is trying to explain that they are just as much a victim as everyone else in the world, and what happened to the world was not their fault. However, the people of the West, which would be the US essentially, always feel the need to take things that don't necessarily belong to them. And at this point, they're going to defend what is theirs, and they are going to power up like the East, where they are, to make sure that their people on this side have power, energy, life, everything. And the ones to the West are just like, y'all are in the dark, which is kind of weird coming from Colossus, considering how he came to the West needing assistance and joined the X-Men. So for him to be with the Brotherhood of Mutants, it's kind of shifty and weird. And him making this like self-righteous speech just, it does not really sound like him. Anyway, at this point, they've told them that there are bombs in their chest, and Deadpool, of all people, is the one that holds the trigger to the bombs. And so Colossus says, you know, I can let you guys go home. I don't really care what it is that you do. Go home and make peace with the situation, because at the end of the day, all of you guys are going to be gone really soon, because y'all won't have anything compared to what we have on this side of the world. And so he was like, I would prefer that you did leave, so that nothing, like, I don't have to explain what happens to you if you decide not to. So they decide, Bucky and Captain America decide, yeah, we're gonna leave. They ask Wolverine if he's also coming, and he's like, you know what, I'm not gonna make the trip. I actually need to talk to them, so go ahead. So those two take off running, and he's obviously having this conversation, and essentially he is just in his own roundabout way calling Colossus self-righteous unjustly, like, because how are you being self-righteous in this situation? And Deadpool, being himself, decides that everybody's time, like, it's everybody's time comes, and he kills both Captain America and Bucky. And of course, this pisses Wolverine off, and he's trying to claw the bomb out of his chest, and he was like, I'll be damned if y'all do this shit to me. And of course Colossus is like, I'm sorry that it has to be this way, but of course it does have to be this way. And the bomb explodes. So Deadpool's then just like, oh, that is a lot of blood. And they're like, okay, well, you know, we did what we needed to do. What do we do now? And Colossus is like, well, now we need to get this up and running so that we can power our side of the world. And the West would just literally be a thing of the past, because there will be nobody alive to remember it. Of course, while he's saying all these things and walking away, Wolverine is regenerating, and he comes back almost fully, but like as soon as they leave the room, and we're at it to be continued there. This is a strange situation, because the intel that they received is that the leader of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants is Mastermind, but it seems that Colossus is the one who seems to be leading them. So that's kind of weird and abnormal, especially for him, especially coming out of the situation that he's in. Again, he came this way, right, for help. So it's really weird to see him in this villainous role, and trying to make it not be a villainous role, because he says again that they're just as much victims of the situation, because what happened was not their fault. And he's not wrong. All of this is because of Magneto, but also what happened to Magneto, to where Asteroid M was on a collision course with Earth, and then Magneto was dying. Like, what was going on in that situation? What happened there? Because you're prematurely saying that it wasn't your fault, because of course everybody knows that it was Eric's fault when this crashed and he created that EMP, because he died. But what happened to get there to here? You know what I mean? So I don't know. This seems like it's going to be pretty interesting. I'm not awestruck by this. I'm kind of hoping that it'll get a little bit better. The artwork looks great. The story is okay. Again, I'm trying to see if it's going to advance and get better. This one was kind of just like an average one for me, so I would say probably about like a 7. So we'll see. But that is it for this episode of The Doctor's Office, and I will see you guys at your next checkup.